gentlemen, order. It's something I've forgotten how to say, really, so I just about remembered it. Can I extend, on behalf of Mark Prisk and myself, a very warm welcome to you. We're delighted also that Oliver Heald is here, who's been side by side with us, and Brooks Newmark, who I think has already apologised to Carol on the way into the building, but he's just apologised to me again that he can't be here because he's on, as a government whip, he is on bench duty. The three of us are here to bear witness to the parliamentary side of what has been an extremely successful campaign. It has been meticulously prepared, and we have struck, I think, several telling blows as a result of the work that's been done. I think Brian Ross deserves a mention for some of the technical stuff that he has done, and Carol for making sure that the public have been very much aware. But all of you, because it has required a lot of people to be involved, and that has been the secret of the success of this campaign. And I think that we are entitled to have some satisfaction at the moment, but remember, I think it's almost as if we're moving into a period of Cold War, if that doesn't sound depressing, because you think you win, but then some other problems arise. And what we can't guarantee is that we can expect a particular policy to hold forever without our making sure that we're continuing the argument. We may not have to continue it with the same intensity as has been happening over recent years, but we certainly can't just fold our tents, go away and think, oh well, that's done, because the whole history, as we know, of Stansted being in the frame goes back 50 years, and some would argue to some original blueprints much earlier than that. So let us savour this moment, because it has been a victory for local people, and there is time now for other policies to mature which may well take the heat off us in the longer term, and that is what we want to achieve. But insofar as I've been able to give voice, and Mark and Oliver and all your elected supporters in the district and town councils, and it's good to see them represented here today. The fact is, we can enjoy this celebration, and it's delightful that we can have it here in the House of Commons, and we will stick together, and we will give voice again as necessary. The first question I was able to put after 14 years was on this subject, and it won't be the last, I promise you that. So thank you for all coming up today, and let us now hear from Peter, who has been the chairman of SSE and is entitled to his good share of credit for the way in which he has run the organisation and made sure that everyone has played their part, done the things that we wanted to do to ensure that this decision has been taken, for which we are extremely grateful. Peter.
Right, thank you very much. Well, Sir Alan, thank you very much for sponsoring this reception here this afternoon. And thank you too, as our local MP, and that goes along with the other local MPs, with Oliver and Brooks as well, for all the support and encouragement that you've given us over such a long period. It's been a very, very long road that we've travelled together. And thank you too to everyone, allies, supporters, everyone who's worked so tremendously hard in order to bring about this wonderful result. I'm not going to mention any names except one, and our patron Terry Wade, who can't be with us this afternoon, but has sent a letter giving out his congratulations on what we've achieved, but also urging us on in order to rule out any further runways at Stansted for the next 2 generations. So looking back, congratulations. Looking forward, we've got to put this on a more permanent basis. I don't think there's any need to remind you, we went through some very hard times together. I remember when, at the beginning of the campaign in 2002, when the government's consultation paper came out, and we were threatened not just with the second runway, but with a third and perhaps even a fourth. And then, of course, there was the white paper. After all that consultation, the government swept aside our arguments and declared that it was now government policy that there should be a second runway here at Stansted. I remember being in this building, or in this complex of buildings at that time, when Alistair Darling made his statement, and you were there as well. I remember it was a very depressing time. But of course, we pressed on with the results that we now see here today. It would be easy just simply to celebrate. And we do celebrate. I mean, make no mistake about that. It has been an astonishing victory, and it is something to celebrate. But, as Sir Alan has reminded us, 4 times we have actually fought off a second runway at Stansted. And 3 times that threat has come back. We've got to make sure that it doesn't come back yet again. And that's, the people of this area have suffered blight and insecurity for almost 50 years, and it's now time that it came to an end. And that is why we're pressing for this 50-year moratorium on any extra runways at Stansted. Now, we recognise that it's unlikely that BAA are going to welcome that idea and sign up to it themselves, but at least we can press for our political leaders to make a policy statement ruling out any government policy support for a second runway at Stansted over that period. And when we say our political leaders, I mean not only the leaders of the present coalition government, but also the Labour Party as well. It would be marvellous if we could get a complete consensus on this. Everyone should agree that there should be no second runway here at Stansted. I'm going to ask Sir Alan to sign this calling for a moratorium on any additional runways at Stansted for a period of at least 50 years.